Solving systems of equations graphically. Lesson 9 notes. Example number 2. Solve the system of linear equations graphically. So we've got equation A and equation B. Neither one of them are solved for y. So before we can graph, we have to solve for y. And this is why we did Bellworks 9A and 9B, so we knew what to do. All right? Yes, x and y are on the same side, but notice how y has a coefficient of positive 1. Since it's a positive 1, I don't need to worry about that. That means the only thing I need to do is take this 2x to the other side of the equation. So, since it is a positive 2x, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. That will allow me to cancel my x terms on the left. So, we'll just write it up here. We have y equals, and then remember, you can't combine them. They are not like terms. So you would put negative 2x plus 6. All right, looking at the equation. My slope is the number in front of x, which is negative 2. But to graph, we make it a fraction, so I'll put it over 1. The y-intercept is the number after x, this positive 6, so my y-intercept is 6. It's a negative slope, so the graph will go down and always to the right to begin with. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to graph that line. So I'm going to start at 6. Putting a point, and I'm going to go down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1. I'm going to keep doing that as far as I possibly can. So now that I have the points, I can draw my line. If you don't use a straight edge and you don't make straight lines, these problems will not work out for you. So make sure you're using a straight edge if you're doing this on paper. And if you're doing it on Notability, make sure it's straight lines. Okay, so that was question 2A. Let's look at question 2B. Unfortunately, the x and y are on the same side, and y has a coefficient. So that means that this is a two-step problem. The first step will be to take the 4x to the other side of the equation. Since it's a positive 4, I subtract 4x from both sides. The 4x's cancel on the left side. So I'm going to bring down the 2y. Going to bring down the negative 4x. And because it's 0, I don't need to put that. Divide both sides by 2. I need to isolate the y by dividing both sides by 2. So y equals, sorry, I'm going to put it in a different color. Y equals negative 2x. The slope of this equation is the number in front of x. So that would be negative 2, but I want to make it a fraction, so I put it over 1. Notice how there's no number behind x. When there is nothing behind x, That means the y-intercept is 0. It is a negative slope, so the line will go down and to the right. Okay, so starting at the origin, I go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, up 2 to the left 1. Once you've gone the one direction as far as you can, then you go the opposite directions. Now, before I officially draw my line, I want to compare my slopes. Before I officially draw the line, I want to compare the slopes. So if you look at the slope of this problem, I've got negative 2 over 1. If I look at the slope of equation B, again, I've got negative 2 over 1. That means that my slopes are equal. So slope of line A equals the slope of line B. Now let's look at the y-intercepts. Here the y-intercept is 6. Here the y-intercept is 0. So my slopes are equal, but my y-intercepts are not equal. So the y-intercept of A does not equal the y-intercept of B. So what type of equations am I going to, or what type of lines am I going to have? Well, where in the 3 types of problems do we have slopes that are equal but y-intercepts that are not? So look for slopes that are equal and y-intercepts are not. Here, the slopes are not equal, so it's not that one. Here, the slopes are equal and the y-intercepts are equal, so it's not that. But in the middle here, slopes are equal, y-intercepts are not equal. Therefore, it is going to be parallel lines. So if I come back down here, in parentheses, if you draw 2 long straight lines, like this, that means parallel. So I should have parallel lines. When you look at my graph over here, let's go ahead and draw this one. Do I have parallel lines? I sure do. So let's label this one to B. So if you have parallel lines, do they ever touch? Do they ever intersect? Do they ever share a point? No. And because they never share a point, they don't have any common ordered pairs. So in other words, this problem is a no solution. Let's check our work using the app. Hit the 3 dots, hit delete, hit the 3 dots, hit delete. All right, so the first equation is 2x plus y equals 6. Hit return. The next equation is 4x plus 2y equals 0. Hit return. If I zoom out, are those parallel lines? They sure are. One goes through the origin, and the other one goes through positive 6 on the y-axis, just like ours. If you have any questions about example 2, parallel lines with which would give us a no solution, please let me know.